Hi everyone, and good morning from the MSC Divina cruise ship. In this video here, we're going to show you everything this cruise ship has to offer. From the restaurants and the food, the bars and the drinks, all the activities and more. I go by the legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend Molly. And we're going to begin the tour here on the pool deck, kind of the heart and soul of any cruise ship. And I find the pool deck here on the Divina to be very, very functional.
Yes, it does.
You've got a lot of loungers, especially more on the upper levels than on the lower levels. You've got a pretty good sized pool. Like, that's a big pool for a cruise ship to have.
You have some in the shade and some in the sun, so you get both.
Yeah, it's
loungers.
It's kind of a pretty pool deck with the tile work and the curves, so it doesn't feel industrial.
You get a good foot if you just want to put your foot in.
Yep.
And your feet.
There are 4 hot tubs here on the pool deck. There's 2 smaller ones on the lower level, and then over there are 2 larger ones. This cruise ship has a lot of hot tubs, and you can't have pools without the pool bar, and there are 2 of them right next to each other. They are pretty good size if you want your pina colada or beer. Now, the pool deck is actually used quite a bit. Today is sea day, and starting around 10 a.m., they have activity pretty much all day long by the pool. There'll be games, there'll be dance classes, there'll be musicians. We've seen a saxophone guy, we've seen a guitar guy, a steel drum guy play throughout our voyage.
Last night they did have the white party up here.
Yeah, their big deck party. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, and everyone in the whole cruise ship dresses in their white attire, and they come out. It's really, really nice. All right, that is the pool deck. Let's go check out the rest of the ship. Here's an area of the ship I really enjoy. This is the La Serene indoor pool area. First of all, it starts on the deck above where they have foosball and ping pong, and then you get to the indoor pool itself, complete with 3 hot tubs, and there is a bar in here. I love whenever they have something like this. It helps waterproof the ship. Like this morning, it's a little bit drizzly here in Nassau, Bahamas, but having an indoor pool really helps.
It does.
And also, as somebody that gets sunburned very easily, an indoor pool is also nice. Also, it's a pretty big pool.
It is.
For a cruise ship, that's a good sized pool.
It does get hot though. It does
Yeah.
get humid in here. And chlorine and stuff.
The MSC cruise ships are very, very, very pretty. And the indoor pool area is no exception. They have a bunch of these tile mosaics all around the pool on both levels. Currently in the back of the ship on deck 15, and this is fun because this is where the adults only pool is. So you can hang out in this pool, taking those views with no kids. Now, I have heard some of the cruise ships in the MSC line have started allowing to have adult beverages in the pool. Unfortunately, that policy has yet to reach us here on the MSC Divina.
I do love how many pools there are here.
Yes.
It's very nice.
And then there's also a very good sized bar. One thing I'm not a big fan of, this bar is right next to a very large smoking area. Now, I am filming this at about 9:20 in the morning, but most of the cruise, this has been very, very full.
It has. They do music here. DJs have been here in the evening.
But then again, like for me, if I want to enjoy an adult beverage, I either have to hang, if I want to hang out over here, I have to be in the smoking section or like on a lounger over there because I can't have it in the pool. And so for me, it's not the best area. If you're a smoker, it might be your best area on the ship.
Yeah.
These sun lounges on the ship are rather unique. I like you can like put up like a shade structure for your face. If you go to the top deck in the back of the ship, you get the area known as the MSC Arena, which is set up, it looks like it's mostly set up for soccer, with this being a European cruise line, but there is one basketball hoop up here as well. I don't think they do any events up here, maybe just for like the kids clubs, but I haven't seen anything on the Times Guide for like all ages. Also, their one soccer ball they have has been very well loved.
It looks like the one that your parents' dog ate up.
Yeah. On the top deck, all the way in the back of the ship, you do get an area for sun loungers, and there's no like music or anything back here. Definitely more of a peaceful setting. There are 2 hot tubs, one on this side, one on the other side, and I feel like these would be the hot tubs that would be the least discovered on the ship.
Yeah, they're very small, but probably more peaceful.
Well, that depends if there's basketball chaos going on.
Yeah.
If you come up to deck 16 towards the back of the ship, some pretty cool pictures right next to the ship's big MSC smokestack funnel. The MSC Divina does have one water slide, but it's really in kind of a weird spot. It's kind of over here next to the funnel and not near any of the pools. But hey, it's always fun to have a water slide on a cruise ship. It's one of those simple joys of cruising is maybe having a couple of drinks and going down a water slide. Although I have no idea what this water slide's hours are. I couldn't see anything on the app. All right, I got a quick update. It looks like the water slide normally runs from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. So pretty solid hours. I think we might be at the highest guest point on the ship right here. in the top 18 exclusive solarium. This is an area reserved for guests that book the Aurea package. Different packages give you different levels of access. And here you get all nice cuddle pods, loungers, and then your own hot tub. It's kind of cool. It looks like the hot tub does have like a windscreen on it to make it a little bit more comfortable. Ooh, this looks like a big hot tub as well. That's pretty nice up here. Let's go take a look at this hot tub. On decks 5, 6, and 7, right in the middle of the ship, you have the grand atrium on board the MSC Divina. And this is, sometimes cruise ships like the atrium is a hub of activities. Here it's really only used for music, mostly in the evening.
They do have parties at night.
Yeah, on night 1 there was a sunshine party, which was 60s, 70s, and 80s music. Tonight, it's kind of our wheelhouse. There's a 90s party this evening.
Yeah.
It is a very nice, very functional lobby. Something I like, each floor, 5, 6, and 7, they all have their own bars on them.
Yeah, that's very nice, especially for the parties.
Yeah, we've seen different musicians in here too. Last night they had a really good guitar guy playing in here. This is also where you would find things like guest services or your shore excursions desk. And it's a very, very pretty atrium. As a staple on the MSC cruises is these here, the stairs with these Schwarzschild crystals in them.
Very, very pretty.
Yeah, very popular photo spot as well. I did forget to mention this, in the atrium area on deck 6, you also have the MSC Future Cruise Desk. So if you want to book a cruise while on a cruise for onboard credit or whatever they are offering, you could do that here. It's also kind of cool. They have a TV in here that just loops like different MSC cruise ships.
Yeah, no, it's very nice.
So if you're just hanging out enjoying some cocktails in these, kind of interesting looking chairs, you could find out about all the other ships you can sail on. So I really like this. On deck 5 in the lobby bar, they have an area with just like free breakfast pastries. That is wonderful. On deck 6 in the middle of the ship is one of my favorite parts of the MSC Divina. It very much reminds me of being like the Venetian in Las Vegas with the painted ceiling and the lights.
Yes.
Really, really pretty space.
Or when we went to Italy,
We did, yeah, but the Venetian has the ceilings.
Oh, yeah.
They do have music here in the evening time, more chill music. We saw the saxophone guy here last night. There is some shopping, some higher brow shopping. So there's a boutique with clothes and purses, perfumes, and jewelry, and a beautiful, beautiful bar. They could get coffee drinks, you can get alcoholic drinks, and it runs really long hours. I believe like 7 a.m. to like 1 in the morning, something like that. There's an upcharged gelato, but what I love, and I think the area where I've gained the most weight on this cruise ship, these snacks over here, the gelato costs money. These snacks do not. And in the morning they'll have like pastries for breakfast. And I mean, come on. How could you pass up that dark chocolate cake?
I do like how it changes every single day. So there's been different types of sandwiches in here, different types of desserts.
Yeah, the tuna sandwich today, ham and cheese sandwich, that looks really good. What's this one over here? That looks like one for you. Oh yeah, Molly. Yeah, brie cheese. I really like this part of the ship. Located on decks 6 and 7 in the front of the ship is the Pantheon Theater, a gigantic theater.
Very massive. No trouble finding seats.
No, really, really nice theater. Good sight lines. It's mostly used in the evening time for the big production shows. We're currently on a 3-night sailing, and on our cruise on night 1 it was ABBA the Songbook, and on night 2 it was Beatles the Songbook. And those cruise shows, I would say they're very cruise shippian, is the best way to describe them. Kind of no real sets, they do have an LED backdrop, and it's just people singing ABBA songs or people singing Beatles songs. Tonight is a show called Live from the MSC Divina, so we'll see how that is. And then it's also used at other points in time. There was a Master Chef at Sea in here earlier, which is a really fun game show. People are currently sitting down to watch a movie. They have a midday movie on Sea Day.
Which I absolutely love. I love whenever they use the theater for entertainment during the day.
Now, personally for me, I don't have to sit through all 2 hours and 40 minutes of the Wicked movie that is about to start.
What? No, you have to.
I would have burned through the entire beverage package by 4 in the afternoon, I imagine. But yeah, the theater's very nice. Also, you don't have to get there early or worry about seats because there are so many seats in here.
And they're comfortable.
On deck 7, you will find La Cantina del Bacco, which is the best beer and wine bar on board the MSC Divina. And I really like this beer selection. Now,
there's a lot.
This ship did just come back from Europe, so I'm not sure how long these beers will be on the ship. But they've had a really, really nice beer selection of a lot of stuff from, you got stuff from Italy, stuff from Belgium. Right now I'm drinking a Chimay, Molly's drinking a La Chauffe. So really, really nice beer. Also, I think the best wine selection on board the ship. They do have upcharge pizza in here, so if you don't want to go up to the buffet, you can order a pizza in here and have it made just how you want it. And the pizza's not too expensive, $11 and under. And then also you can get it custom made, like a create your own pizza, which is pretty fun. And I think that it's a very pretty room. Like big chairs, arches, great beer selection. They've used this lounge in the evening for the steel drum guys been in here. Also, normally they do arts and crafts during the day. We saw them making pop-up cards yesterday, which is kind of unique. In the back of the ship on deck 7, you'll get the black and white lounge, which I think is the biggest lounge on the ship.
It is, and it's used a lot.
Yeah, during the day, we are on a sea day right now. You can see on these TVs, they're playing F1 on PS5, and they're having a tournament, which is really cool. I like that a lot.
That is really neat.
I would not be any good at that at all. Oh, you play on the big screen? That's really fun. If it was Mario Kart or something, like I'd be down. Absolutely.
Not the F1?
Not the F1. This lounge is used in the evening. There was bingo in here earlier today. Win a cruise bingo. And then there's a band that plays, a very mellow band. Yep. And it's also karaoke. Yep. I thought karaoke on the ship was really fun because it's a very international crowd, so you don't know what people are going to sing. It goes from a guy singing country music to somebody singing a Latin song I've never heard of, to a guy got up there the other night and sang Italian opera.
He was really good.
Yeah, a big lounge, lots of seats in here.
They do a lot of family events in here too.
On deck 7, above the casino, you get the La Luna piano bar. I love the lights in the ceiling that kind of make like different constellations.
Yeah, it's really pretty here at night with the
yes.
tulip flower.
Yeah, comfy chairs.
Yeah.
It's another one of the more chill lounges on board. In the evening, there's been a piano guy in here. The steel drum guy has been in here. And something I like on MSC that other cruise lines don't do, I believe it's kind of a tradition in Italy, that during certain hours of the day, they give you snacks with your beverages. And this bar gives out bugles. I haven't gotten them yet. I've seen other people get them, and I've gotten jealous.
Really jealous.
Just because we haven't spent too much time in this lounge. But other bars too, like we've gotten really good like cheeses and olives in the cantina. So I've seen people get potato chips. Really like that, snacking while you drink plan they have here on MSC. At the very top of the cruise ship, deck 16, you have the Galaxy Pavilion, which is this wonderful lounge where you get these panoramic windows. Now this is used for the ship's nightclub. Full disclosure, I'm 40 years old. The nightclub starts at midnight. I have not made it once on this sailing.
No, we also run out of drinks by 11 o'clock. So
yeah.
It's hard to keep going through.
If you have not sailed with MSC Cruises recently, there is a 15 drink limit on the beverage package now. But man, some of the views over here are fantastic. And it's an interesting venue. I think part of the reason the nightclub starts so late is that half of this venue is a sushi restaurant.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. And this is something you can do a la carte. You can do a tasting menu depending on what you want to do. And this is definitely one where you get some really cool views while dining up here. There are two main dining rooms on board the MSC Divina. The larger one, the Black Crab, is the one that is right off the lobby on decks 5 and 6. And that is where we're going today for brunch. I've been lucky. I've been on a lot of MSC cruise ships, but I believe brunch is a newer thing. And the menu looks pretty fun. All right, and here's the menu for brunch. You do a selection of pastries, toast, bagels, English muffin, coffee, and juices. You get the egg section, eggs your way, build your own omelet, eggs Benedict, lobster Benedict. Now that one isn't upcharged. Now I believe it has an around the world theme for the main entrees, like steak and eggs, huevos rancheros. Oh man, carbonara pasta, a cheeseburger with brisket on top, some fried chicken, an Indian dish. You've got a French toast from France, that makes sense, and a very interesting dish from Tunisia. There is some lighter fare, a kids menu, side dishes. Oh, you can't have brunch without dessert, and then some drinks from around the world. I will say I saw them preparing somebody's spicy Bloody Mary, and it comes with a piece of bacon in it. That looks wonderful. All right, I am excited for this. So we put in our order, and then a giant tray of pastries comes over. Oh my goodness. I got so excited by that wonderful brunch menu, and we got set right away, so I didn't get a chance to show off the dining room. It is on 2 different levels, and it's like the rest of the ship, it is very pretty. This is also very smart. They do have a table showing off those brunch beverages. Look at the Bloody Mary with the bacon. The food came out very, very, very quickly. Molly got one of our favorite dishes, spaghetti carbonara. In between us is a bunch of sides we ordered. Bacon, hash browns, sausages. And I went a little weird. I got the garage fried chicken from Japan. Got a whole bunch of rice underneath it. Dessert has arrived. I got a brownie a la mode. And Molly went for one of probably the most interesting dish. I believe it's an Indian bread pudding. On deck 7, right next to each other, you will find 2 lounges that were a little bit loud when I went to record the video, so I'm going to voice this segment over, starting with the Golden Jazz Lounge, which is a very, very pretty lounge. I really like the lighting in here. I thought that was very neat. Now, this is your main trivia bar in the afternoon. There'll be trivia games, there'll be name that tune kind of games, and then in the evening time, this becomes a live music bar. It had a 3-piece live rock band, which was my favorite musical act on the entire ship. There was also probably the most lively band on the entire ship, and that was the Latin Duo. Now, right next door is the aptly named Sports Bar, and this is home to a small bowling alley where you can play for, I think it was around $7 or $8, and they had a lot of sports on in here. Well, during our cruise, they did have the Thursday night NFL game, along with a lot of college football games on Saturday. Now, they don't get every single game, but one thing I do like, they do have a piece of paper that tells you what games are going to be on that day. There's also food available in there for an upcharge. Located in deck 14 in the front of the ship is where you'll find the MSC Aureus Spa. Now, as you would expect, just like the rest of the ship, it is a very sleek, a very pretty spa area. Molly and I were not the biggest spa people, but we did go in here on a couple of occasions. One thing I did really like, they had this kind of waiting area in the spa, home to a bar. Now, this bar is not for alcoholic drinks, but really things to prepare you for your workout, help you after your workout, so you could get Gatorades, protein shakes, smoothies, that kind of thing. In the spa area, of course, there's going to be plenty of rooms for you to get all sorts of treatments and massages done. I'd say probably don't get one done in the Port of Miami with that view in the background. That would not be nearly as relaxing. Of course, with it being a cruise ship spa, there is a big salon area where you can get your hair or nails done up for formal night or photos. The part of the spa we spent the most amount of time in was the thermal suite area. If you're a returning cruiser on MSC with gold status or above, you do get 1 hour of free time in the thermal suite, and I think it has to be used on a port day. And it's a collection of saunas and steam rooms where you can really go and relax. If you had a lot to drink the next day, you could go sweat some of that out, and it's just a beautiful space. This steam room was broken, but man, look at the tile work in here. That must have been horribly expensive to build. In the spa area is also where you'll find the gym on board. Now, with this being a 3-night cruise and lots to do, I did not make it to my gym at all. Unfortunately, sorry Waistline, but they do have a pretty good sized gym. Lots of weight machines, lots of ellipticals, lots of treadmills for you to burn off some calories. Right outside the theater on deck 6 is where you would find the casino on board. It is a pretty good sized casino, a very pretty casino. I do like how you could win kind of shenanigans, like you win like an MSC plushie, like stress ball cruise ship at the coin pusher games. And of course, the big idea with any casino is you would win money. Now, most people probably lose money, but that's just the way it works. Now, there's plenty of slot machines as well as table games here. Molly, what are some of the table games on offer here on the MSC Divina?
Blackjack, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card, Roulette, and Dream 21.
Now, this is a smoking casino, which is, I think, more of a recent change. I believe when we were on the ship 2 or 3 years ago, it was not a smoking casino at the time. So when it is open, you can smoke in here, but I believe you're not allowed to smoke cigars. Mm-hmm. Any casino has to have a big casino bar. I do like that this one does have the TVs that will play sports. And in the casino area, you just got a really, really nice staircase. I also like that this is something you don't see on tons of cruise ships either. They have video roulette. So if you're a little gun shy about playing in front of a dealer and other people, play here on the video version.
It is nice. That's what I like.
Yeah. And they do have video poker as well. It's a pretty good casino. The casino seems to be pushing really hard for the Paradise Lotto. So it's just like playing the lottery at home, except you're doing so on a cruise ship. They've been mentioning it all over, like theater shows and whatnot.
Every night they draw.
One thing I really like about MSC is they tell you exactly how many points you need in the casino to get a free cruise. Other cruise lines, it's kind of a question of how much you need, but here they lay it all out for you. Right next to the casino for the adults is kind of a small casino for the kids in the form of an arcade. A very small arcade, but also a pretty modern arcade. Now, these games all cost real money, If you want to play like this motorcycle game, it looks like a lot of fun, but it's $2.50. They've got a really cool looking skee ball.
Yeah, that gets my attention.
Yeah, it's $2 to play skee ball. And if you wanted to try and win yourself a Spider-Man or a Minion, that's going to run you $3.
And I like how they have chairs on the side over here.
Yeah.
Parents.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
That's weird.
On deck 16 in the middle of the ship, you get an area known as Virtual World, which is a small arcade, just a couple of games. Some of them look really fun, like this Airstrike game looks super fun.
Yes, it does.
There are some games you can win tickets and prizes. Some games are just video games, like the Ticket Monster. Now this is also where you would enter the teen club if you are indeed a teen. We are very much not teens, but it's down this fun staircase there to get to the teen club. Now that's not going to be the only thing in this area. You also have more kind of like amusement park type rides over here. One of which is the F1 simulator. You can see somebody racing right now. And there is also going to be a Triotech motion simulator ride in here where you get to blast the enemies and ride in little chairs like that. And here's a better look at the Triotech XD Cinema. We get to go in and see the 3D movie as the seats bounce around and other things happen. I don't think this one has the blasters, so you just sit there and ride and you don't hit any of the targets or anything. Located on deck 15, you get the Kids Club on board. Now Molly and I, we are absolutely not kids, we don't have kids, so we really can't tell you too much about the Kids Club, but I do love the playground area. I guess it has a Smurf theme.
Yeah, that's a cool slide.
Yeah, and a little playhouse. They've got a seesaw. I'm not sure if this area is like open when the Kids Club's not open, but that would be a great area for the kids to be able to go and blow off some steam and run around. Located on deck 14 in the back of the ship is the Calumet Buffet, which is the buffet on board. It is lunchtime. Let's go see what's for lunch. And let's start the buffet area with my favorite section, the pizza. MSC has fantastic pizza. Really big slices and a lot of different selections. So right now it's just a marinara pizza. Up next is your classic pepperoni. Oh, this looks fantastic. This is mozzarella and bacon, absolutely. And they do offer normal cheese as well. Now, the fun thing about the pizza, they do change out the toppings every day. There are 2 bars in the buffet area. Now, one thing that's fun about the ship, pretty much every bar does have coffee on board. And then these are kind of just simple bars, so you can get like beers and wines and your coffees and juices. There's a very large section of the buffet for fresh fruit, which looks very nice. As I'm pretty much sure you're required to have at a cruise ship buffet, they have a grill station. Let's say these burgers don't look the best. They've got, they're out of hot dogs at the moment, but then they got cheeseburgers and bacon as well.
I do like how they have a whole tray of bacon.
Yes. You went here for breakfast this morning, and the bacon situation was not ideal.
No. And they have fries.
I had some fries yesterday with lunch. They were pretty good. There's a selection of cold salad type options. I'm guessing this is also stuff you could put on your burger. And then, man, look at that cheese bread. The buffet has a build-your-own salad section with lots of different toppings you can put on there, as well as dressings. This section is cold cuts and cheeses. Oh, and
Cold salads?
Hummus? I think it's hummus.
Hummus, yeah, no, yeah, hummus.
There is a steamed rice. The soup of the day is cannelli bean soup. Oh, look at this pasta. Pasta bolognese looks really good. Some more of the entree type stuff. This is fish and shrimp, and then barbecued meatloaf. All right, green beans and onions. This is good looking here. This is a shrimp and chicken jambalaya, cream corn, and then chicken parm. I do love chicken parm. On the carving station for lunch is pork loin. The buffet does have a couple different beverage stations. You can get coffees and teas, milk. For lunch, it is lemonade and iced tea, and then ice and water. This section is labeled International Corner. You've got some rice pilaf, vegetable chili. This looks good here. Chicken chili, but then it's kind of like a build-your-own nacho bar. And then toppings for those nachos. You got a second type of cheese, guacamole, black bean and corn salsa. There is another bread station. This one has garlic bread and some smaller, also fantastic looking cheese bread. As you go around the buffet, some of it repeats and some of it does not. So like we saw the meatloaf, but we didn't see the aloo, or sweet potato puree, or lemon orzo pasta with spinach and onions. Molly, that looks very you. That looks incredibly cheesy.
I definitely got some.
In the very back of the buffet, you do get the children's corner with the adorable entrance, and this will have kid-friendlier food. I'm guessing that's probably fish sticks, and then French fries, some simpler pasta as well. In the very back of the buffet, there is a vegetarian and healthy section. And you can't have a buffet without some desserts. And they've had some pretty good desserts on these buffets. They have Rice Krispie treats. Oh man, marble cheesecake. Death by chocolate cake. Look at those. Oh, eclairs. It's like pistachio eclairs. And there are more desserts. I had one of these little cupcake type things yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. Like some Jello. Now this buffet does get very, very busy. Molly came for breakfast and it was, she said, pure chaos, them running out of food. Right now, it is lunchtime on a port day and it is incredibly peaceful. I would say try and go farther back in the buffet and that'll get a more peaceful experience. Here's one of the simple joys of cruising. They have big glass elevators that go from like deck 16 all the way down to the lobby atrium. And here we go. This is I like these. I think it's a lot of fun. You see the upper parts of the atrium here, then all the different floors of the atrium.
The gorgeous stairs.
Yeah. And we made it to deck 5. Located on deck 6, right in the piazza area, you do have the cigar lounge. And man, this is a beautiful, beautiful space. I love the lights, big comfy chairs, the thing on the ceiling. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, I am not a cigar smoker, so this is definitely not somewhere on the cruise where I will be spending my time. Actually filming this on embarkation day just to stay out of the cigar smoke. But man, what a really cool space this is. If you like cigars, this would see you spending a lot of time in here. All right, I am excited for this. Right now I'm on deck 7, and tonight for dinner we're going to the main upcharge restaurant here on the Divina, and that is the Butcher's Cut Steakhouse. And you know it's going to be a fancy meal when your napkins are presented like that. And here we go. We got a bread bag, not a bread basket. 4 different types of bread. One of them is bacon and cheddar.
It's really good.
2 different types of butter. Let's take a look at the menu. There are some drinks over here. MSC, you could definitely do better when it comes to craft beer if that's your only option. But let's get to the good stuff. Now we get 1 appetizer. Lots of fun options. 1 entree. And now this meal is normally $60. We're very lucky. We get to cruise a lot. So I'm a Diamond member with their loyalty program here at MSC. So I get a tasting menu for 2 complimentary, which is like one of the, it's probably my favorite perk at any cruise line. And there are some sides, sauces, and desserts. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. And our appetizer, of course, has arrived. I got the smoked tomato soup. It comes with like cheddar bread twists. And then Molly got the burrata and beets salad. I'm really excited to dip the cheddar biscuits into this soup. The main course has arrived. I went with a filet mignon, an 8-ounce filet. It smells fantastic. We do have some side dishes on the way, but my mashed potatoes are here. I love that they give you all 4 different sauces: a béarnaise, chimichurri, peppercorn, and mushroom. And then Molly got some lamb chops that look wonderful, and creamed spinach. We also both got an order of the onion rings.
I did buy him a cooking one.
And dessert has arrived. I got the cheesecake, which looks lovely, and Molly got the lava cake. And Molly, we have made it to the Forbidden Door.
We have.
At the front of the ship, in the top levels, there is the MSC Yacht Club, their ship within a ship concept. These are going to be the fanciest suites on board. There's also going to be a bunch of stuff over here that you can only access if you're in that level of suite. So things like a top sail lounge, their own sun deck and pool.
The restaurant, I think?
Yes, it might be located in a different section of the ship, but they do have their own restaurant. Probably with upgraded food, I would imagine.
Yeah, you get a butler too if you stay at the yacht club.
Fancy. We are in the cheapest possible cabin, so this is all we're going to show you. Located on deck 7 over by the Butcher's Cut and the Black and White Lounge, you do have the photo gallery on board. Now this is where you can go and buy any of those pictures. They are all printed out for you.
I love how it looks without any of the photos.
Yeah, like old-timey train stuff. Now, with my loyalty status, I get one free photo. And we try to make it absurd, so I'm gonna put it on the screen now. Do I know this man? No. Did I take that photo? Yes. On deck 6, just off the atrium, you do have the duty-free shopping. And this is one of the more popular ones, as this is the liquor and tobacco store. All sorts of different fun options you can buy in here. Something I do think is interesting, that MSC Cruises does make their own meloncello and limoncello, as well as sambuca. In the store with the duty-free liquor, you also have a section for toiletries, in case you forgot something before that you needed to bring on the ship. More shopping just off the atrium on deck 6. You got a very popular store that sells jewelry, but it is mostly watches.
And sunglasses.
Sunglasses as well. And then that's gonna be an expensive store. This is probably your least expensive store on the ship, and that is the candy store. Also very bright in here, very fun.
Great for kids.
Yeah. Look at all the candy you could buy. And you can also buy toys. Hot Wheels and Barbies.
Look at how happy the Kinder Egg looks.
That is a very happy looking Kinder Egg.
I like how you have Nutella mini bottles.
Interesting, interesting. Lots of very European-ish candies too that we don't get as much in America. Like, I believe this brand is huge in England and stuff. There are 2 more shops on deck 7 in the atrium area, including the main one for perfume, and the shop I really enjoy, the MSC logo shop. Let's go see what kind of souvenirs they have on offer. I do like, they have a very kind of like a Disney store-esque, a pyramid of plushies of all different sizes. This is the mascot of the MSC Cruise Line, Do-Re-Mi, who does make appearances at the Kids Club as well as the Sail-Away Party.
Hey, he's adorable.
Some more fun ideas. You got puzzles, also a travel-size Monopoly.
That's really fun. Easy to fit in your luggage, and if
Yeah. Something called Lynx Go, kind of looks like Snarf. Mini binoculars. And they do have official Lego branded MSC cruise ships, because that is a partnership they have for their kids club. They do a really good job with their kids stuff. Like, oh, you can get the play set, or the inflatable cruise ship, the pullback cruise ship. Something rather different for a cruise ship here, they do have scents. I guess these are scents they pump into the ship at various points. And also you can get hats or luggage. More fun stuff here. You can get a giant pen or an Ocean K lantern. Now that's their private island. It's very, very nice. We did not go there on this ship. Now they don't have ship ornaments, which is very sad. That's something me and Molly collect on every ship. But they do have some ship models. Bigger and smaller ones. There are plenty of clothing options as well. You got t-shirts, you got polo shirts. You do have like MSC soccer jerseys, which I could see being very popular on certain sailings. And fun MSC socks. There is a wall of magnets. Now if I was to buy anything on the ship, I think I might buy this. MSC Whiskey Stones. And then right below the Whiskey Stones is a child's sippy cup, along with plenty of coffee mugs. Finishing up the logo store, that is a very cute souvenir for kids. I also do want to mention right by the main outdoor pool area, there is a gelato and soft serve ice cream, but unfortunately, unlike other cruise ships, these are all for purchase and there's no soft serve included with the cost of your cruise. And wrapping things up on the tour portion by showing off our stateroom cabin. We are in 8028, an interior cabin. Now you need to put a room key or something else in this slot to power on the room. I thought as far as interior cabins go, like this one was pretty good. Like it has a nice carpeting to it. It's I think pretty good size.
it is.
You got a little chair if you want to, put your shoes on. It makes it easier. It's a giant mirror. There I am. Hello. We ended up buying a bottle of blood orange gin. It's on sale for like $15 in the gift shop. So
Yeah.
don't mind that. We got the TV. TV's got probably about 10 or so channels on it.
No movies.
No movie channel, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it was a decent sized TV. We found stuff to watch. There is a mini bar, which is something I would never touch because it is a kind of expensive stuff.
We have the most storage ever.
Yeah, I think this cruise is going to, once it gets back to Miami, it's going to mostly do 7 nights. You would have no problem putting all your stuff in here. There's all these. There is a safe.
There's shelves.
Over here, there's plenty of hangers. So lots and lots of storage. It is I think the best way I would describe this interior cabin is very, very functional.
It is.
And that does continue into the bathroom area. Always good when you have the shower door instead of the shower curtain. And these are kind of small. Obviously the cabin's not very big, but I love how the doors can fold in or out to give you a little bit more room in here. Plenty of shelves to put your stuff on. And of course, it's not a cruise ship room tour without that terrifying toilet noise. It's pretty loud. And that'll do it for our tour of the MSC Divina. Now let's get into the reviews section. First off, this cruise did cost us $772 for the two of us to go on, which I think is a pretty good deal. Now for that $772, that included the room, that included the port fees and taxes, that also included a beverage package and Wi-Fi in the package that we bought. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good deal. A lot of times on other cruise lines, you'll pay like $80 a day for a beverage package, and to have it included on this one, big, big value. Now with any kind of vacation or adventure you go on, there's gonna be some parts you liked and some parts you didn't like. I'm kind of a positive person, so I'm gonna start off with the parts of the MSC Divina that I really enjoyed, and easily number one, the food quality. I thought whether we were eating in the buffet, the specialty restaurant, the main dining room, or that wonderful little snack cafe with the cakes, the food quality across the board was very, very strong.
I agree, especially in the buffet. It really shocked me. For me, the ship is very pretty. It's gorgeous, especially the piazza area, the stairs. Just anywhere that you go, there's a lot of Instagrammable places.
Yeah, that jazz lounge, also a very pretty lounge. And let's see, the snacks. I like that snacks in the piazza area. You mentioned how pretty it was. You like the prettiness. I liked that I could get cakes and treats.
We did have a lot of cakes.
It was so difficult to walk by there and not get some sort of a treat. And they changed the treats. Value was really good on this cruise, as we mentioned earlier, talking about the cost. I think that there was a lot of music, and a varied amount of music, too. So you could see a three-piece band, you could see a Latin duo, a saxophone player, a guitar guy. There was all sorts of different music throughout the ship.
For me, I really liked how much they used the theater. I know that's a complaint on some of the cruise ships that we've been on, but during Sea Day, they played Wicked, so they played the full movie. They had game shows. They had Master Chef at Sea.
Which is a really cool Sea Day entertainment, that one.
It is, and I like how they just use that. A lot of cruise ships during the day, that is wasted space, and in the Divina, they did not do that.
Yes, I do like, as a big fan of professional sports, you never quite know what sports you're going to get on a cruise ship. Normally they get like weird foreign ESPNs. Every day in their sports bar, they would print out a piece of paper and it would tell you which sports they're going to have on for that entire day, so you could plan ahead. I also really like the weird beer bar. Molly and I, we are fans of the occasional adult beverage, and beer being one of them. And it was fun to have a couple of beers from Belgium and beers from Italy. Like, that was really neat. Like, not the easiest things to get here in the States.
I like somehow some of the lounges and bars had snacks. They had chips, they had bagels. Just sitting down, they'll come over and give you some chips. That's nice.
And different bars would have different snacks too, which made it kind of fun to adventure from bar to bar. Be like, oh, I wonder if I'll get snacks here. Ooh, we do get snacks. What are they? One time we got some really nice stuff at that weird beer bar. We got like cheese and olives.
Yeah, that was really good.
Mm-hmm. And that's some of the things we liked. How about some of the things, unfortunately, we did not like about the MSC Divina? And first and foremost, the smoking. Interesting, it was not really smoking in the casino, but when you're on the port or the left side of the upper decks, pretty much for the entire length of the ship, that left side is a smoking area. There's a smoking area by the main pool that's kind of undercover, and it traps the smoke. First of all, it was filled just about every single time we walked by, and it really stunk up that whole section of the ship with smoke.
I agree. I also don't like how in the adult section by the adult pool and the garden bar, it's a smoking section. So they had like a DJ and music out there, but you had to sit in the smoking section to listen to that music, which I didn't like.
Yeah, unfortunately on the Divina, there's no drinks in the pool yet. That does seem to be changing on MSC, so hopefully it hits that ship relatively soon. Well, we talked about they used the theater a lot on a sea day. Unfortunately, on a port day, if you wanted to stay on the ship, there was not much to do. It's really just hang out in the pool, maybe go to the spa or the gym, or take a nap, because there's not a lot going on.
Yeah, they had like 1 or 2 activities before 10:30, and then from 10:30 to 2, there was no activities that was scheduled, so that was lacking. You had to find your own entertainment. My biggest problem, this is with MSC in total, I don't like how they do the main dining room. Divina does not have many tables for 2, so it's very hard to get a table for 2. They also don't tell you your dining time until you board. You can request early or late, but we requested early, and we got the second to latest late time, and you don't find that out until you board, and then you have to line up and ask if they can change. And with that dining room, it is very small, and there's not many tables for 2. We got very lucky for getting a table for 2, but it's near and impossible to get.
Yeah, I feel like if you're traveling with a bigger group, like a group of like 6 or 8, you're probably fine. But as a smaller group that doesn't want to share a table and have to have awkward conversations about what do you do today and what do you do for a living, and like I don't like that on cruise ships. I know a lot of people do. For me, it's just not for me, and it's harder to avoid on MSC than on some of the other lines. I think on some of their newer ships, they have more smaller tables and more tables that can be broke apart, but not on the Divina. So the food quality was great. The hoops you had to jump through to kind of get to it, not as fun.
Speaking of food quality, buffet, wonderful food quality. However, breakfast, they only have the buffet really open for breakfast. They do have pastries in a couple of the lounges, but if you want an actual full breakfast on a port day, the main dining room's only open for like, I think an hour and 30 minutes or something.
I think it might
crazy.
be like 6:30 to 8 a.m.
Yeah, very, very low hours. So we went up to breakfast, and I waited in line for about 15-20 minutes, and by the time I got up there, they had changed what was on the buffet. So I was waiting in line for scrambled eggs, and they changed that to quiche by the time I got up there. They also ran out of bacon, and we asked for more bacon, and they were like, oh, it's going to be a good 15 to 20 minutes, after me waiting in line for 15 to 20 minutes to get to the front of the buffet. So it was just chaos during breakfast. So I would recommend either getting up early and doing that main dining room, or just going with the pastries in the other lounges.
Yeah, we've been on the ship a couple times. This is our 3rd time on the Divina, and something good. The entertainment has changed up quite a bit. There were 3 main theater shows, only one of which was still on the ship from about 2 or 3 years ago. But also, one thing we noticed over time, the shows in the main theater are not as good as they used to be. They used to be kind of weird, and they'll be like acrobats and jugglers and that kind of stuff worked into like a big production show. Now it was very much, as I would like to say, cruise ship-esque, where it's just singers and dancers in front of a not very interesting LED screen with random backgrounds, maybe one costume change. I don't think in some of the shows there were any costume changes. So it was, they kind of felt lazy.
I also don't like how it was 2 kind of tribute bands. You had the Beatles and ABBA, and that's kind of the same genre to me, so it didn't vary much. One thing I also don't like, and this is MSC in general, they don't have the set times listed for the musicians. They just have the start time. So we went, I think, to the piano lounge, the Luna Lounge, like 3 or 4 times before we actually saw the musician, because we always went while they were taking their 15 to 20 minute break.
Yeah, the musicians just perform continuously for like 3 or 4 hours, but there's also times on the ship where we were walking from like lounge to lounge to lounge and keep striking out, like, and then you just kind of felt like you were wandering aimlessly. Now they know when their set times are, and it would be very easy to list them on the app, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that would be good guest service to do so. All right, there we go. That'll do it for our time on the MSC Divina. Overall, we had some good things to say, some bad things to say, but when I look back on this cruise, I think about the food, I think about the smiley cake guy, because we do have a couple of staff shout-outs, one of which being Mr. Zolani, a.k.a. the happy cake man in the Piazza, who...
He was very happy.
He was always happy, and yeah. And also, shout out to Mark at the Silver Lounge, which was one of the lounges on by the atrium. I think it was on deck 6. He was an excellent bartender. If you got any questions about the Divina, let me know in the comments section below. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you guys didn't watch videos like this, Molly and I couldn't go on as many cruise ships, and it's one of our absolute favorite vacations to take. And if you like this video, maybe you want to watch another one of our MSC videos, like the one we filmed this past May on a much, much bigger ship.